this is Scorpio. Um, the editor of the Felicity Daily Herald has asked me to comment on politics. And since we're in kind of a lull, that is, the time between the primary season is over and the national Democratic and Republican conventions begin, it's the season that I kind of refer to as the silly season, where the major television networks, radio stations, and that type of thing really have nothing to talk about because the candidates are positioning themselves uh, to a spot where they feel they can best compete in the fall. But anyway, I've been listening to right wing radio. Call me a masochist if you wish, but I enjoy listening to right wing radio because, to be honest, I really, it's hard for me to grasp the idea that cats like Rush Limbaugh and Sean Hannity and the like really believe the stuff that they talk about. Now, as an American, I respect any person's right to believe and express themselves as they wish. But as I listen to right wing GOP style radio and TV like Fox, it boggles the mind. First of all, uh, Rush Limbaugh, who recently signed $100 million contract, and Sean Hannity, who makes a boatload of money, you will rarely hear these gentlemen criticize big corporations, big government, or the GOP. In fact, if I were Rush Limbaugh making $44 million a year, what difference would it make what I pay at the gas pump? Um, it amazes me though, because when they get on their shows and they talk about Barack Obama and Democrats and liberals, they always complain about big spending, big government, how the Barack Obama and the Democrats want to take your guns away, and all this type of stuff. The way I see the upcoming election, I break it down this way, and I'm not in the prediction game, as you know. As an Ohio State fan, I've learned not to predict things. But anyway, for the upcoming election, the way I break it down is this: 40% of the American people who are going to vote will vote for Obama for a lot of reasons. 30% of the American electorate would like to vote for Barack, but they're kind of sitting on the fence. And then you have 30% of Americans who will not vote for Barack Obama no matter what, be it because of their narrow mindedness, or because they're steeped in prejudice and bigotry, or the fact they just don't like his politics. So it's that 30% fence sitters that both the Democrats and Republicans are going to try to woo. Now, this is what I find quite interesting, and this is who I'm making my appeal to: the 30% who would like to vote for Barack, but are very hesitant to do so for a lot of different reasons, and who listen to cats like Rush Limbaugh, Michael Savage, and Sean Hannity. First of all, the right wing, the neocons, the Republicans, the haters, as I like to refer to them, they love to wrap themselves in the American flag. They love to brag about how they're good Americans. Sean Hannity, when he takes phone calls from his followers, refers to them as good Americans. And they'll say, "Oh, you're a good American too," blah, 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 which is quite interesting. But then they talk about and praise conservative values. owners, which is quite interesting to me because if you go back to the founding fathers, your founding fathers, uh, and take a look at these gentlemen, these were men of privilege. These were men mostly of wealthy landowners. These were men who owned slaves. These were men who denied women, white women, basic human rights. They couldn't vote. They couldn't hold property. White women were in bad shape during the founding fathers period. And to be quite frank, the founding fathers basically drew up the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence primarily to expand the rights of individuals to pursue individual greed. Everybody else, be they non-white males, be they Native Americans, Indians, so on and so forth, had to fend for themselves. This is the creed of conservatism. The right to pursue not necessarily life, liberty, and happiness for all, but instead to pursue individual rights for individual greed. That's why primarily the founding fathers of this nation, also the founding fathers of conservatism, fell out with the British because what? The British wanted to tax them, which the founding fathers did not want because of what? No taxation without representation, so they said. Now bring this up to 2008. Rush Limbaugh, Sean Hannity, as I said before, never criticize big oil. Never, ever criticize big corporations. And when you had this recent crew in there, Bush and company, who stripped away our freedoms and our civil liberties, so on and so forth, Rush Limbaugh, Sean Hannity, they were quiet. They didn't say anything. So for those 30% of those voters who would like to vote Democratic, who would like to vote for Barack Obama, but are hesitant because they listen to these wackos, these right-wing wackos like Rush Limbaugh and Sean Hannity. Keep in mind that what Rush Limbaugh and Sean Hannity are promoting is a philosophy for individuals to pursue individual greed and for everybody else to fend for themselves. That's it. That's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. It's going to be a very interesting race. I can't wait for Barack to go to Europe because I think when Americans of all stripes see how the world, particularly Europe, responds with love and respect, and Americans see the streets of France, and the streets in London, and the streets in Germany, lined with adoring people, honoring a man who's not even president yet, it's going to bring a lump in everybody's throat. Because we haven't seen that in a long time. In fact, I haven't seen that since John F. Kennedy went to Germany in, I think, 1961, when I was a small child. I don't want to date myself. This election is going to be very interesting. I've followed it very closely already. Barack is a very brilliant man. He has a perspective on the world that is badly needed. And I think Barack is the type of individual who can lead this country into the